Welcome back to another episode of EVTV. I'm Zosha.
And I'm Langston. Due to COVID, many of our local businesses have had to close down temporarily, including the Capitol Theater. Jordan and Zosha bring us an update on the status of the reopening of the theater.
With the beginning of the pandemic came the closure of the Capitol Theater, along with many other businesses across the country. It was unclear upon closure when they would be opening again, as there are many factors to consider before this can be decided.
Well, we've been closed since March 14th. We could have opened very partially, and we chose not to for a couple of different reasons. One is just what I was talking about. There's no film supply. Importantly, we didn't want to subject our staff. I mean, that makes them frontline workers because they're here every day. And so it just wasn't time.
So me and my coworkers we closed down, I think, 3 days earlier. We were talking with the owner. We thought it'd only be 2 or 3 weeks that we'd be closed and don't usually get that time off. We were looking at it as more of like a little vacation than
The Capitol Theater has been a big part of our community since its construction and opening in October of 2002. Its inviting outer facade and welcoming interior has been a cheerful destination for locals and visitors of all ages for years. Members all throughout our community, including its current employees, have fond memories and experiences with this fan favorite.
You know, it's also a part of the community. And so it's, we know that there's a hole in the community when there isn't something like this going on.
Oh, my opinion on the Capitol Theater is it's a great place to take my kids. We've seen lots of movies there, but even before that, I used to go with friends when I was in high school, and it was just, it was a great atmosphere.
My opinion on the Capitol Theater is that it was really nice and that it was good entertainment for kids and families to do on the weekends.
Although the closure was inevitable due to the current conditions, this small delay has left the community reminiscing on the good times they have spent in the theater. With many members of our town having grown up within the theater, the eagerness to get back grows daily.
I guess the shared experience which one can have, like watching a movie, like if you're watching like a sad scene, you can see like the collective experience of sadness with other people, and when you watch stuff by yourself, it's something which is more internalized and built in, and it's interesting to be able to share that externally when you're at a movie.
The thing I miss most is probably just going with my family and friends and watching movies that weren't able to be watched online.
I think right now, just where I am in my life, is I miss watching my kids get excited about it. It's just, when I was a kid, I remember going to see The Lion King, not at the Capitol Theater, but I just remember going to the theater in general and just how exciting it was, and I hate that my kids are missing out on that right now.
With the closure of our local theater, we also see closures of theaters all across the country. Although many of these small cinematic businesses may want to open right away, the pause in the production of movies has added another level of difficulties that may have been looked past.
It's been spotty opening in various places, and it's been, it's been a tough deal for the industry, both domestically in the States and globally. But more importantly, it's really stopped the output of films. So, even if we're open, if Hollywood's not putting out films, there's nothing to see. There are a few releases, some smaller pictures. The industry went through really trying to open in late summer, going into Labor Day, tried to open with a Christopher Nolan film called Tenet. There was supposed to be sort of like, okay, we're back, we're going to do this and then start opening, with other films. It just didn't work out very well.
People all across the world are anxious to see when the movie industry will start back up in full swing. Particularly, members within our little community all seem to have one main question on their minds. When will our beloved Capitol Theater be reopening?
Yeah, I'm curious when it'll open. I'm curious when County Health is going to give it the go-ahead. Kind of curious on what different kinds of things they could do with old classics. I know that River Rock was doing some things, so I was curious if Capitol was looking at trying to get creative.
Probably just when it's opening. and if it is going to open or if it's just going to be closed forever.
I mean, I don't think, when is it going to reopen?
We'll be back. We're as anxious as everybody else is. It's really a national and global issue with films right now, with the industry. You know, when we're a small place here, you know, but so it's going to take the industry kind of getting back, which is a public health issue, to get the industry back, and we'll do that when they do. You know, right now, I'd say wishful thinking is sometime in the spring.
Throughout this pandemic, the joys of cinema and movies have kept us going and in good spirits. When the Capitol Theater opens again, and it will, it is our obligation as a community to support our local small business that helps bring these movies to life. This has been Zosha and Jordan.
B-season sports have officially started. For many contact sports like wrestling, rules and regulations have changed. For more, we go to Zoe and Arden.
The wrestling season for 2021 has just started, and we wanted to take a closer look on how the season will play out.
With COVID-19, many changes have been made to their season.
Major difference is we're just now starting. This is our second or third week. Normally we start in November, so they delayed everything because of coronavirus. And then our season is also shortened. It's only 5 or 6 weeks when it's normally, 3.5 months long.
The only difference I would point out is that our season is much shorter, and obviously we have the mask policies, but other than that, you know, we're treating it like it's not an excuse to wrestle and to give our most effort and, you know, just do what we do.
I pulled a rule out that the coaches, including I, could not have any contact with any of the wrestlers to keep the contact down with COVID. So we'll show them some stuff, but we stay away from actually showing them hands-on stuff. And that approach, in case one of the coaches end up getting COVID, it doesn't put the whole team out.
I mean, I think it's just reinforcing. They learned firsthand that this can all be taken away, emphasizing the fact that tomorrow isn't guaranteed, so make the best of today.
Just with practices, we have to wear a mask.
The mask policy is the masks are on all the time, except when one-on-one, when they're wrestling live or they're drilling live.
Despite all the adjustments, the wrestlers are still working hard.
We had quite a few, a good amount of preseason training, mostly like lifting, things that we were able to do by CHASA standards. And then once we got the green line, we were able to condition in the room just so we can get adapted and get our heads back in the game, you know, being in the same room.
Changes have also been made to the way meets and tournaments will run.
We're able to have more duels than tournaments just because of the amount of people.
The meets will be like half of both teams will be in the gym at one time, and then the rest of the teams will have to go somewhere else and wait until it's their turn.
We're only allowed to have 20 matches or 20 duels. State is going to be 1 day versus 3 days, and it's only an 8-man bracket, which includes only the top 2 from regionals get to go, so it's pretty tough.
So normally the top 6 finishers earn a state medal. This year only the top 4. So, like you said, only half the number actually qualify for state, and then it's a third less place.
You know, we bumped up to 4A, so that's going to be tough, and we'll see how they shine then.
Through everything, though, the Devils continue to keep their head up.
Well, we've been pretty successful in the past, and we will be successful in the future. So support us, be out there.
You know, we're not taking Rona as an excuse to, oh, this is why I lost, or this is why I'm doing this way. Rona's just what's occurring. You know, we're persevering. We're still giving our effort, so it should not be an excuse. And
yeah, I think just the opportunity to compete. A lot of states aren't even having wrestling, so the fact that we're allowed to compete is a blessing.
I'm looking forward to just being able to have a season, because I didn't think we were going to have a senior season, and it's our last year for a lot of us to show what we have.
Thanks for watching this week's episode of EVTV.